more on the clock. Pecan, 2 seconds. Pecan for the lead. Got it! He got the record at the buzzer! The bridge breaks for three. Buried! Gallagher pulls up. Gallagher rims it out the field. Slams it down. Pooley up ahead. Dombrowski, the freshman, off the window and one. Go back to Evans, corner three, got it! There's Rowe with the exclamation point as Dunny slams it down. Far side, Dawson unloads, knocks it home. Jenna Dawson by Teslavich, Epps puts it on the floor. Rice looks to drive in, Epps floats it up, got it! He got it! There's 1,000 for Bryce Epps. From Monessen High School, it is the Holiday Tournament Classic from Monessen. Game 2 of 4. One played earlier. South Park defeated at the hands of the Washington Little Prexies. It's Propel, Braddock Hills, and the Monessen Greyhounds. No tournament-style format for this one, though. It's kind of, you play who you're going to play both days. Propel knows they're playing Washington tomorrow. Monessen knows they're going to play South Park, but it doesn't matter. Both teams want to find a way to get into the win column. Propel, Braddock Hills can match their win total from the previous 2 seasons with a win here today, coming in at 4-4. Monessen can get win number 6, and it will be their 6th straight if they can do so here this afternoon, early evening from Monessen High School. Alex Lyons, Joe Sabalak alongside for all the action this evening, afternoon, whatever we want to call it, but 4 o'clock you can do either way. But nonetheless, Monessen knows a little something about riding a win streak. Last year had a huge win streak throughout the course of their season and looking to get to a 6-game win streak so far this year under Coach Dan Bosnick, who's done an outstanding job with this program.
Yeah, I mean, Monessen just traditionally a great basketball program. And no different this year. You know, not as good as in years past with those state championship teams, but still a very, very respectable and, you know, feared program in the Mon Valley. You know, always seem to pull it out when it matters, and I think today we're going to see another Monessen victory. I do feel like that Monessen does have the advantage here, and they will take advantage of their superior size, strength, and athleticism here against Propel. But Propel, got to give them credit. You know, only 5 wins in the last 2 years. So give credit to them and their coaching staff for the extreme turnaround. So hopefully it's a good game for you guys here on the MVI Live stream, and we can see a good one.
Yeah, Propel got some very talented players in this starting lineup as they'll send out 6'4" sophomore forward Gary Miller Jr., joined by the big 6'7" senior center Jaden Smith, 6'5" senior guard Ben Mayhew, averaging 18.7 points per game. Then it's the 5'10" senior Giante Clemens, averaging 19 points per game, along with the 6'1" junior forward Cato Hill. That's Miller, Smith, Mayhew, Clemens, and Hill for Propel, Braddock Hills, and Coach Damian Cornish here this evening. And at the other side of things, it's a different looking lineup than we're used to seeing for the Monessen Greyhounds. As you know, you think Monessen, you think Lorenzo Gardner in the forefront. Well, Lorenzo will not be starting here today. He will play according to his head coach Dan Bosnick, but it's going to be the 5'11" senior guard Devontae Ross Clayton, along with the 5'11" sophomore Daniel Dozier, joined by the 5'11" sophomore Devontae Robinson, 6'1" senior guard Dante DeFelice, and the 6'2" senior forward in Jay-Sean Blackman, who will have his work cut out for him today. Again, that's Ross Clayton, Dozier, Robinson, DeFelice, and Blackman for Coach Dan Bosnick. But we talked about that size on the other end. Mayhew, 6'5", 6'4" Gary Miller, and then the big 6'7" Jaden Smith. So the size advantage definitely favors the Lions of Propel Braddock Hills.
Yeah, Propel Braddock definitely have the size advantage. Monessen, a couple big bodies inside, so Monessen's going to have to really do a great job at boxing out getting their bodies onto the Propel Braddock players, including Jaden Smith, 6'7", 187. And you can see the size mismatch here in the center circle as we're about to jump. So we're going to have to see the Monessen Greyhounds really make a conceited effort to get bodies and be physical with the Propel Braddock Lions.
You know, and one thing Monessen they've had consistently over the year, you look at last year's team that lost to GCC, they've had that great outside three-point shooter. Last year, of course, Cody Coons. When your best three-point shooter is your forward in Jay-Sean Blackman, you know you're going to struggle a little bit, but, you know, this is a team who's moved down to 1A. They haven't even got a taste of 1A basketball, and they're riding a 5-game win streak. As there's Devontae Ross Clayton over the divider. Ross Clayton guarded tightly, swings it. Blackman left wing back up top. Daniel Dozier. Now it's Dante DeFelice as Blackman off the window, no good. And a traveling violation as hauling that one in was Clemens, but Gio Clemens couldn't keep his feet.
And good call by the official. I don't think there was any contact there. Propel Braddock's coach very upset, but definitely not. You see the official coming over and giving an explanation to the Propel Braddock coach, but definitely a good call. No contact on that thing. He just fell over and committed a traveling violation.
There's Blackman, corner, swings it up top. Robinson now, Dozier, left corner three, got it! And the Greyhounds strike first, it's Daniel Dozier. Dozier, split time at quarterback for the football team with Lorenzo Gardner, who will again see later on in this one, as underneath, pretty passing tic-tac-toe, and Cato Hill gets the Lions on the board. 7:15 remaining opening quarter. There's Robinson. Robinson to Blackman, left wing. Deshaun Blackman, foul line, kick out, as Robinson pulls up right hand and in for Devontae Robinson. 5-2 Greyhound lead, 1 minute gone. There's Ben Mayhew, and Mayhew's fouled by Robinson on the near side. Ben Mayhew had the privilege of getting to watch him this summer in the MVI SBL, part of Coach Dana Zychek's RTI squad, averaging 18.7 points per game for the Lions this season. As up top, there's Clemens, the team's leading scorer, as almost had his pocket picked. Back to Mayhew. Ben Mayhew driving in. Mayhew spins, lost the handle, and out of bounds. It's back to Monessen with 6:40 remaining in the first.
And no surprise here, Monessen in that full court press, just constant in-your-face pressure, and gets the Lions here to turn the ball over. So we're going to probably see a lot of that. And Monessen's going to want to continue to do that if they hope to see success, which they obviously are.
As up top, there's Dante DeFelice. Now it's taken by Robinson, back to DeFelice. Dante swings it near side. Daniel Dozier inside. That's Blackman. Kick out Robinson. Make it Ross Clayton. As Devontae Ross Clayton increases the Greyhound advantage. 7-2, 6:04 remaining. Mayhew back to the middle. Pocket picked away. It's the steal and the score. Yes, for Devontae Robinson. Around the cylinder and in. 9-2 lead. 5:50 remaining in the first. Now it's Mayhew right side. Ben Mayhew skips it, driving. That's Hill. Goes inside, taken away by Daniel Dozier. Dozier leading the charge, coast to coast, right block fouled by Miller Jr. Give that on Gio Clemens, actually, getting him from behind.
Monessen with some excellent passing here early on. I mean, you can just tell that Propel is a little overmatched here in terms of the trying to break that pressure just early and often, getting double teamed and having a lot of trouble getting out of those double teams and getting it to the open man.
Daniel Dozier knocks down the back end. He's up to 4, tying Robinson with that total. 10-2 lead for the Greyhounds to start. Mayhew and Clemens. Again, those two can be dangerous, as combined almost averaging 40 points per game. Inside, there's Hill, and Hill off the window and in. Cato Hill has all the scoring for Propel in this one. He's averaging 6 per game entering play. 5:15 remaining here, opening quarter. 10-4 Greyhound lead. There's Daniel Dozier. Dozier inside, deflected away. Active hands by Ben Mayhew. Clemens to Mayhew. Mayhew left wing driving, pulls up. Mayhew overshoots. Rebound Clemens, now taken away by DeFelice. Dante bounce pass out of the reach, but Robinson regroups or make that Ross Clayton. Devontae Ross Clayton directing traffic. Ross Clayton rolls right wing. Pressured lightly by Ben Mayhew. And sending Dozier through, now it's Robinson. Robinson, top of the key, Devontae Robinson. Robinson to DeFelice, 4:28 remaining opening quarter, 10-4 Greyhound lead. As the 3-2 zone, keeping the Greyhounds outside up top. As they swing it to the corner, Dozier inside, Blackman, and Blackman puts it up, but foul on the floor first. That will go against Gary Miller. As checking in will be Fred Woodfork for the first time today, replacing Miller, who picked up that personal. But, you know, you see that 3-2 zone, exactly what you want to do, working inside of the big man Blackman.
Right, and Propel might be trying to slow this down a little bit as get a whistle.
Travel on Daniel Dozier, took that little slide step to the right, according to our official on the near side.
Yeah, but this might be what Propel tries to do. Slow the game down, make Monessen go at their pace, at Propel's pace, and not try to push the issue as much.
You get into a track meet, Monessen will probably run you out of the gym as Mayhew off the mark, out of bounds. Last touched by Blackman. One more day of holiday tournament action for you here on MVI Live. That will be tomorrow as we'll have the final two games. The third place and championship game is and one for Cato Hill. That will be from Charleroi, as Hill has all six, matching his season average here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Robinson just gets beat off of the out-of-bounds play and right into the Propel player, pushed in the back and gets the and one.
Robinson out, Lorenzo Gardner in. And we know how athletic and talented Lorenzo Gardner is, as Hill on the season 2 for 4 from the stripe, looking to convert the old school three-point play. He will not, and pushed behind was Gardner. That was by Woodfork, the big 6'1" junior forward. Dante DeFelice over the center stripe, 3:42 remaining here, opening quarter. There's Ross Clayton back up top to DeFelice. Dante bounce pass, Dozier right wing three off the mark. Rebound, Blackman fouled as he got position on Jaden Smith. You know, and that's how you beat the bigger body. You get position inside, and every time, doesn't matter how tall you are, you're going to get that foul called against you.
Yeah, Blackman doing an absolutely phenomenal job at boxing out Smith, who has a clear size advantage of several inches. Gets in front of him, grabs the rebound, has enough poise to make him hit him on the arm with a nice little up fake before, and then went up, and Jaden Smith gets him on the arm. Now he's got to make his free throws.
Tim Kershaw in, replacing Daniel Dozier, I believe, as Blackman knocks down the back end. It's the only disadvantage of doing games at Monessen. You have the nice wire screen in front of us.
I know, right? I have seen that this is a bit of an issue to pick out who is who and numbers and players and things like that.
You got the black stripes and, you know, kind of cuts right on the jersey. And
I know, right? It's a little difficult.
As there's Ross Clayton up top, swings at Lorenzo Gardner. Gardner, now it's taken by Ross Clayton. Ross Clayton to DeFelice. Dante DeFelice, top of the key. Ross Clayton for three. Off the mark, rebound grabbed down by Woodfork. As Woodfork off to Clemens. Clemens stops up, finds Hill. Cato Hill kicks it out. Clemens driving, lost the handle. That's Tim Kershaw. Now it's Clayton driving in, off the window and in. For Devontae Ross Clayton. As at the other end, it's Woodfork answering. As picking up the pace, you imagine that favors the Greyhounds. Kick out Blackman to the corner, DeFelice overshoots. Rebound grabbed down by Mayhew, 2:28 remaining in the first. And a whistle in transition. Looks to be a foul against the Greyhounds from Monessen.
And that is on to Sean Blackman, but I must say that, you know, for your center, for your forward, your guy that's rebounding, he is extremely athletic. Caused that turnover on the other end just a few possessions ago. He can stay in front of his man. Very athletic, big guy for the Monessen Greyhounds.
Up top, Clemens drives, floater, right hand off the mark. Rebound by Lorenzo Gardner. Here comes Gardner, coast to coast. Lorenzo gets to the window, no good. As Ben Mayhew with some help from Hill reach it down, and it's a foul on Ross Clayton.
See Lorenzo Gardner into the game for the first time, so good to see him back on the court.
Mayhew gets it right back from Clemens. Gio Clemens scoreless thus far, along with Mayhew, the two leading catalysts of this Propel offense. As near side foul on the Greyhounds. Might have just been an out of bounds. Didn't see any signal to the table there.
Yeah, it was just out of bounds call.
As there's the offensive foul, an illegal screen on Jaden Smith. That'll be Jaden's. Should be Jaden Smith. He was the one who at least provided the screen that I think they might get. There it is. Still had Clemens' number up there for a second. I was like, yeah, it's clear as day, Smith, which would have been maybe a break, as there's Lorenzo Gardner. The 6'4" junior forward into the front court, Lorenzo. Gardner, top of the key. Now it's taken by Tyvon Kershaw over to Tim. Back to Tyvon. Little errant pass. Gardner travels first as he was trying to head down the lane. And Monessen on a 5-game win streak. They know a little something about playing on big win streaks. Last year won 16 in a row after starting 0-3. They only had one loss in 2A play. That was the GCC, as right elbow jumper way short by Woodfork. Saved though by the Lions, but right to Lorenzo Gardner. 3 straight one-possession games for Monessen, as there's Lorenzo bouncing off the body of Woodfork underneath.
And a noticeable difference as Gardner comes into the game, going right by his man, just so much more athletic, and he brings so much more to Monessen when he's out there.
As catch and release, 3 off the mark. Daniel Dozier let it fly. Third time up, no good. Rebound finally ripped away. That's by Cato Hill. Clemens over the divider, inside, not ready for it was Woodfork, almost got caught reaching as Tim Kershaw gets on the board and increases the Monessen lead with 47 seconds remaining. Ben Mayhew, right wing, Mayhew drives, lost the handle, up ahead, it's Kershaw again, and Tim Kershaw adds 2 more. Spread out scoring for Monessen. They're at 17 with 30 seconds on the clock. 5 different scorers, 4 of them with multiple scoring sequences to the resume, as that one almost a backcourt violation, but instead turns into a throwaway turnover. Nonetheless, it's Monessen basketball.
Propel reeling here. I mean, they're having a really hard time getting the ball up the court now, and Monessen's taking advantage of it. This is a big last 23 seconds here for Propel. They need a stop. They can't let this get to double digits.
15 seconds remaining. Dan Bosnick's Greyhounds look to hold for 1. Down to 10 seconds. Dozier up top to Tyvon Kershaw. Lorenzo inside. That's Travion Thompson going up and getting it blocked back down by Gary Miller. 3.1 seconds remaining. See what the Greyhounds have on tap here. As Thompson flips it in, tip drill, Gardner can't finish. Thompson blocked again by Miller, and it's 17-8 after 1 in favor of Monessen right here on your home for Mon Valley Athletics, MVI Live.
The best local coverage, news, sports, and more. Make sure you subscribe to the Mon Valley Independent newspaper. Both print and e-edition subscriptions are available, and you can try the e-edition free for 30 days starting today. So make sure you log on to MonValleyIndependent.com for more information. Mon Valley Independent, what happens here matters here.
Back here from Monessen High School, 17-8, the Greyhounds lead the Lions. 4 for Kershaw, Ross, Clayton, Dozier, and Robinson, with 6 from Cato Hill of Propel Braddock Hills, as the Lions' top 2 scorers in Mayhew and Clemens held off the board and held in check through the first 8 minutes of play.
Yeah, Propel Braddock, I mean, getting a lot out of Cato Hill, but not much else. 6 points from him, but again, that's it. Propel needs their leading scorers to come up here and get them some points, because Monessen's doing a great job at causing havoc, and that's what Monessen does well. They've done it well for, as long as I can remember, and it's just their style, and they're very good at it.
As there's Ben Mayhew, top of the key, foul line driving, fouled before the shot. Appears to be against Dante DeFelice. His first, team 4th, make it the 5th. As in, and denied by DeFelice, as Dante DeFelice showing off the active hands. No matter what you do offensively, if you can play standout lockdown defense, you're going to have a spot on the floor, and that's what Dante DeFelice is able to do. Rebound out to Ross Clayton, almost a travel. Ross Clayton, the mid-range jumper, no good. Rebound by Ben Mayhew. See if the Lions can get the attack rolling here. Cato Hill. Now it's Mayhew. Ben Mayhew. Double team, spins away. Finds Hill. Short corner shot up. No good. Rebound Ross Clayton. Big difference on the glass for Monessen is they're finding bodies to put their body on instead of just watching as Dozier fouled.
Propel needs to make themselves available to their ball handlers, and especially Mayhew. He's looking for his outlets here, and they are not available. 3 guys bunched up at the free throw line is not going to help out your ball handler very much. Propel needs to make sure they spread out, give him options to pass to so that Monessen cannot trap.
Up top, Mayhew left alone off the iron, no good. Another rebound for Monessen, getting position inside. As Ross Clayton slows down the pace, 6:52 remaining, quarter number 2. Lorenzo Gardner, now it's Dozier, right wing 3 off the mark. Out to Ross Clayton, inside, Blackman, the hook, no good. Ripped down by Cato Hill. If it wasn't for Cato Hill, this game would be pretty much out of hand right now for the Lions. And Clemens has that one knocked out. But Cato Hill, you don't expect him to lead your offense either.
I mean, you're only averaging 6 points a game, and he's got it right here in the first quarter. So Monessen really keying in on their leading scorers and making sure that they're not very active in the scoring column. They're doing a very good job at it.
Lorenzo Gardner gets the personal off the inbound. Lorenzo knows Ben Mayhew pretty well. Got to see him this summer. We're not teammates, but both part of the MVI SBL along with Jashawn Blackman. As Ben Mayhew was a first-round pick actually this season in the MVI SBL. As there is Cato Hill, left elbow, no good. Rebound, Jashawn Blackman wrestles it away, and knocking it out was Woodford. As Fred Woodfork at least slows down the tempo.
Propel getting open shots here at this point, but they're just knocking them down, and that's really what's killing them at this point. Turnovers, and you're getting the open shots and not able to hit any of them.
They were shooting 43% through 8 games this season. As driving in, Clemens to Mayhew. Onto the board, and the lead down to 7, first points of the quarter.
Getting a little chippy here. Woodfork and Blackman going at it a little bit, and Lorenzo Gardner as well. So got some heated discussion going on between Monessen and Propel.
And I believe that, I was looking down, but that was a timeout by Coach Bosnick, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Coach Bosnick, of course, he has done an excellent job taking over for a legend. 600-plus wins here at Monessen for Coach Salvino. Got win number 700 as a head coach with Bell Vernon last year. But Dan Bosnick, of course, quarterback at Laurel Highlands in high school, went to play tight end at Temple, then moved on to Cal U. Now the assistant superintendent at Uniontown. Busy man who I think knows how to get a lot out of his players, and he's done such a great job taking over this program.
I'd say so. I mean, it's hard to take over for JoJo Salvino. Obviously a very motivated and determined guy playing D1 football, going to Cal, being the assistant superintendent at Uniontown. There's a lot of different hats he wears, and obviously doing a great job at Monessen as well. They've been, they have not fallen off very much, and that's very hard to do, and that's what people thought they would do, but they haven't, and that's largely a part of Dan Bosnick.
Last year, our unanimous Mon Valley Independent Coach of the Year was Dan Bosnick. As there's Ross Clayton, his team up by 7. Monessen scoreless thus far here in the second. Scoreless in the game is Gardner. Outside, Daniel Dozier. Now driving Kershaw, and a foul on the way down the lane by Gary Miller Jr. Bench warning against Propel Braddock Hills. And with the bench warming, technical might be on its way here soon, the way Coach Damian Cornish continues to plead his case.
Yeah, very heated. I mean, very, very upset.
As Woodfork and Gardner, maybe some fouls afterwards, or no, just Gardner. Again, things are getting heated up here, as you mentioned going into that last break, as Lorenzo now has 2 fouls. As that was a 1-and-1 opportunity for Tim Kershaw by the wayside.
Well, you got 2 really aggressive teams, and you can usually tell how the game is going based on the fouls. Both teams are in the bonus here, just 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Fred Woodfork banks it in. Not how you draw it up, but got the job done. And one thing you look at, Lorenzo did come in that first quarter back on the bench now as Woodfork goes 2 for 2. He's up to 4 points. But going back to that, you look at guys even in the NBA, a guy like Russell Westbrook, who's a perennial all-star, benching and coming off the bench, getting triple doubles and stuff like that. That's how Lorenzo has to do. He has to embrace that. Okay, I may not be starting, I may be the guy, but I can still go out and be the guy. I can still be the same Lorenzo Gardner coming off the bench.
Right, exactly, and I think he's done a good job at that. Been off the bench a couple times this year, and that last bucket did not count. Just a little footnote there, 17-11, lane violation on Woodford.
I almost thought there was. He kind of was falling over down the lane as that one's out of bounds with 5:13 remaining here in the second quarter. It's been an interesting one to say the least here for Monessen.
It's just been, it looked like Monessen was going to pull away there at the end of the first quarter, but Propel hanging around. Monessen really hasn't been able to hit too many shots, but here you go. This is where they're so great on the fast break and easy buckets for Monessen.
It's been almost all transition points for the Greyhounds, along with a couple free throws and a 3-point bucket, but this is where Monessen beat you. They attack you up top, get the steals and scores as Clemens kicks it across, and not ready for it was Miller.
Couple times now, the Lions are just not ready for these passes. I mean, several should have been easy layups or at least very close to the hoop, gone through their hands out of bounds. So got to be more aware of when you're going to get that ball.
4:45 remaining opening half. 19-11 lead here for the Greyhounds. Ross Clayton now working inside. That's Rodney Johnson. Around the horn they go. Daniel Dozier driving. Right hand, no good. Dozier puts it up, blocked by Mayhew. That's a foul on the rebound opportunity. That will go against Rodney Johnson. And this is a big moment as well for Propel Braddock Hills. A great chance to get back into this one, getting some points on the board with the clock stopped. You know you're here in the first half only, but still a great opportunity to cut into this deficit. I feel like the more this game slowed down, the better it is for the Lions, as way off the mark for Jaden Smith.
And this is where a lot of games are decided, is at the free throw line, especially one but you're in the bonus for the 1-and-1 for, fouls 7, 8, and 9. So there are 3 opportunities there while you're in the bonus before you get to the double where you might not get any points on a foul call. So really got to knock your free throws down, especially in a close game like this.
Ross Clayton, top of the key, Devontae Ross Clayton. Now it's Tim Kershaw. Tim back to Ross Clayton. Clayton surveys, floats it, Kershaw. Kershaw back outside, Ross Clayton, top of the key. Devontae Ross Clayton swings it, Kershaw inside. Blackman trying to open that lane up, leads to the 3 by Ross Clayton, back iron and out. Now Mayhew an opportunity in transition, taken away. Mayhew gets on the floor, gets it back. As Ben Mayhew slow to get back to his feet. Good sign of sportsmanship and a chippy gain there by Ross Clayton.
Yeah, it looks like Blackman touched the ball while he was falling out of bounds, and his foot was out of bounds on the ground, which is why it's called Propel's ball, and we'll throw in from the baseline.
Clemens, that's to Woodfork. Woodfork trying to break free. Kick out. Mayhew catch and release. Got it! Ben Mayhew from outside. His second bucket of the quarter. And it's quickly a 19-14 game, 3:36 remaining here in quarter number 2. Just 2 points this quarter for Monessen. Robinson. Now it's Dozier back up top. Robinson. Devontae swings it left wing. Ross Clayton. Skipped across to Dozier inside as Thompson fouled as he was trying to be denied by Woodfork.
And again, here we go. When you're struggling and you get the opportunities to shoot free throws, you got to knock them down. So Thompson needs to do that for Monessen. Needs to give them that little spark that they need. Only 2 points this quarter. Propel starting to knock down their shots. So Monessen really got to convert here.
Only 8 total points this entire quarter. We're halfway through as the big senior Travion Thompson gets himself on the board and gets the Greyhounds up to 20, lead back to 6. Thompson, 2 for 2. As you heard from the Propel bench, his foot was on the line. They're going to be watching that closely with Woodfork getting called for the same thing at the other end. As there's Clemens, left wing. Gio Clemens, pocket picked out of bounds. Last touch by Robinson, but, you look with Dante DeFelice on the bench, the pressure has not been as intense up at the top line for Monessen. As Mayhew turns into a floater for 2.
It's a very, very far floater, almost from the 3-point line, in between the 3-point line and the free throw line. So lucky shot there for Mayhew.
21-16. Propel Braddock Hills starting to get into a groove as the Lions trying to come back. 2:42 remaining in the half. At the half, Planet Roof halftime interview. That will be with Jashawn Blackman. As kick out, that's the Dozier right wing 3. Got it! Daniel Dozier, second triple of the half.
That's what you need if you're Monessen. You need that little spark. You need to stop Propel on this run.
2:22 remaining. There's Clemens. Clemens, scoreless, the team's leading scorer. Turning shot from 15. That one looks smooth for Jaden Smith. 24-18. Monessen trying to increase upon their advantage. 2 minutes of the clock remaining here in half number 1. There's Ross Clayton, now corner. Tim Kershaw for 3, no good. And out of bounds. DeFelice and Blackman back in.
Timeout from Dan Bosnick.
Kind of when you don't have that one 3-point specialist for Monessen like they've had in years past. You think of Cody Coons last year, how good he was. You kind of get into these grooves where everyone's trying, okay, we need a 3-point, so everyone's going to try to do it. Instead, when Monessen, when they're at their best, and we've seen it, it's those quick transition points and get the ball to the cylinder. Even when you're setting up an offense, when you have Lorenzo Gardner, that's his best attribute as a player, getting to the rim and finishing through the contact. And right now, Monessen, has kind of got away from that here in the second quarter.
Propel's giving them a lot of trouble because they're so big. They're just packing it down into a 2-3 zone or a 3-2 zone. They switch it up a little bit. And Monessen, despite them being so athletic, so strong inside, they're having a tough time because you guys got guys like Gary Miller, 6'4", Jaden Smith at 6'7". Those guys are going to contest shots, and they're going to affect those shots. So Monessen having a real hard time getting onto the interior, and that's just a credit to Propel's defense, and give credit to the Propel coaching staff for understanding and implementing that.
And you would think, too, the way that Propel has been able to, or Monessen's been able to dominate on the glass, they'd be able to work it in, but they just have not been able to find those lanes, and Propel's content watching them play catch outside. Let's see if with DeFelice and Ross Clayton back up top, those two wreaked a lot of havoc in the early going of the contest with steals and scores. As Mayhew, left wing, there's Ben, step back, triple, got it again. Benjamin Mayhew heating up from outside. 10-point quarter for Ben Mayhew, 3-point game.
What a shot for Mayhew. That was great step back.
As there's Blackman off the mark for the answer. Ben Mayhew coming alive. Now it's Clemens. Can he join the act? He's scoreless thus far. Mayhew left wing. Ben Mayhew. Mayhew step back again. That time no good. As Mayhew just misses a rebound by Blackman. Under a minute to play. There's Daniel Dozier. Sees the lane. Puts it up. No good. As the rebound by Smith. Mayhew with 37 driving. And a foul on the floor by DeFelice.
We have a Monessen player down on the far end in the paint. That is.
There's Dozier who went up for that shot.
Looks like he might have came down on someone's ankle, rolled his ankle a little bit. That's what they're pointing to and grabbing at.
Yeah, looking at the right foot of Daniel Dozier. 35.6 seconds remaining here in the half. It will be 1-1 for Ben Mayhew, as Mayhew having a quick word with one of our officials here this evening from Monessen High School. And a reminder that at the half, Planet Roof halftime interview, as both teams will head back to their respective benches, with Daniel Dozier being looked at on the far side of the court, right side of the court.
Be a big loss for Monessen if Dozier goes down. He's got their only 2 3-pointers of the night. Hit one early in the first and then just recently banked one in. So looks like he's not in too much pain. It doesn't look like he is okay, but obviously something bothering him on that ankle or foot.
As it looks like it's going to be Davon Burke, the 5'9" junior guard, coming into the game. It's actually the way they're working at it, I wonder if he's almost some sort of cramp.
Yeah, they took off his shoe, which is very surprising because...
And the way they were rubbing it, it kind of looked like they were almost bending the foot back. I wonder if there's a foot cramp going on here.
Yeah,
which would be fantastic if that's all it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like he might be in some more severe pain than what we originally thought. He's getting helped up off the floor, not putting very much weight on it. So
yeah, you saw the facial expression when he put any weight on it there. He seemed okay kind of laying down, as he's going to be helped off by Burke and Ross Clayton. We'll see if it is going to be Davon Burke coming into this game. Yeah, it was kind of odd when you see him take the shoe off and they were started like rubbing and like bending the foot back a little bit, but
yeah, possibly just saying if those movements hurt it, especially with the ankle, it might be the back of it. So
as Lorenzo Gardner going to take over for Devontae Burke, who is checking into the game. And Devontae Burke, talk about an athletic specimen when it comes to returning kicks and punts. He was an absolute monster for the Greyhound football team on special teams this year. You know, you kicked it to him, you might as well forget about 30 yards. As Ben Mayhew gets to shoot 1-1. Back iron, very kind to Mayhew, an 11-point quarter now for the senior. 2-point game.
That's what we just talked about, Alex, is that they need their leading scorers, including Mayhew, to step up, and he certainly has.
65% on the year, 33 of 50. Which actually would make it 66 now after that make. Was 65 coming in. Goes 1 for 2. See if Monessen up by 2 holds for the last shot. 20 seconds on the clock. Great quarter for Propel. Just 7 points against. As there's the senior off the window and in. Travion Thompson. 26-22, 6 seconds remaining. It's been Mayhew's quarter. Ben driving. Ben tries to duck it around. Out of bounds with 1.6. See if Monessen's able to get something. And Monessen's starting to run out of time here. As finally Thompson gets the ball. And this would be almost the time you want to run pass patterns. As a steal, and that will do it. As Cato Hill makes contact, 26-22. After 1 half of play, Ben Mayhew has single-handedly kept the Lions in this thing. We'll hear from Jashawn Blackman with your Planet Roof halftime interview when we come back right here on MVI Live. The Greyhounds clinging on to a 4-point lead against the Lions of Propel. Braddock Hills right here on MVI Live.
Cyber Athletics is a community created by athletes for athletes. A team of collegiate and NBA legends that have experienced all aspects of how the ball bounces both on and off the court. Ultimately, Cyber Athletics is defending the health, wellness, and success of a human beyond the title of athlete. Because an athlete can never truly perform unless health and wellness is placed at a premium priority. For more information, visit cyberathletics.com. The City of McKeesport and McKeesport Rising Project, making investments today in our neighborhoods and infrastructure for the future of our community. We are working together for a better McKeesport. 5 Star Plumbing is locally owned and operated and can help you with all your sewer and drain cleaning needs. With over 25 years of experience in 24-hour emergency service, we do what others can't. That's right, save you money. For more information on how 5 Star Plumbing can help you, visit our website at 5starplumbingforyou.com. Planet Roof, Pittsburgh's top roofing company, goes above and beyond to give customers the best experience possible. At Planet Roof, we pay close attention to the quality of our work in your home. Our roofers are committed professionals with years of experience who will go above and beyond for all of our clients' needs. Because at Planet Roof, we love what we do. For more information, contact us today at 724-243-3297 or visit our website, planetroof.com.
Back here at the Planet Roof halftime interview on MVI Live and the Trib Live High School Sports Network with Monessen Greyhounds forward Jashawn Blackman. First off, appreciate you coming over and taking time to do this with me.
Thank you for having me.
So we got to see you a lot last year, got to see you throughout the summer and in football season, and, you know, it's been a lot of fun to watch you play. So first off, we'll start with, how was your experience this summer getting to play with the B Graphics squad and so many different unique players throughout the area?
It was definitely good. I feel like it helped me get more confident as a basketball player. It definitely helped me a lot.
So for you on the basketball court, obviously we know that you can really mix it up inside and be a problem and on the glass and on the boards, but a great three-point shooter from the corner as well. Where did that develop, and how has that become such a strength and added bonus to your game?
I think just always as a kid, seeing different basketball players, I always like to mix and have a variety to my game. So I practice a lot of different things.
So you also are a football player for the Monessen Greyhounds.
Yes.
How has that helped you on the court as well as basketball helped you on the football field?
Well, I think any different sport you play can attribute to another sport. So I feel like it gave me faster, stronger, things like that.
So how did you get your start in the sport of basketball? What brought this process that you picked up basketball?
Just as a kid, always having it in front of me, always having access to it, seeing it with my own eyes, just always wanted to do it for real.
What's your favorite thing about the sport of basketball?
Hearing the ball go through that net. For real, yeah.
So obviously you guys had a great season last year with, you, Lorenzo, Cody obviously moving on with graduation, but an extremely talented group. So what is some personal goals you have coming into the season and team goals? Even though you've lost a lot, you still have a lot of talent coming back.
Yeah, personally, I just want to be the best player I could be, mainly as a team. We want to get further and further, section championship, go to down to the Pete, hopefully further.
So obviously at Monessen, there is a large, kind of history of program success with teams having success both at the district and the state level. Does that add some extra motivation to you guys that's like, hey, we don't want to be, look what the past did, look what the present's doing as well here at Monessen?
Yeah, Monessen is a small town, so, there's always conversation of what happened and what's happening now. So we definitely want to be able to talk more about what's happening now than what has happened in the past.
So what do you have to do individually and as a group to make that the case, make that possible that you guys can be now the talk of the town once again, that it's the current Monessen Greyhounds are here to stay and absolutely a problem for WPIL opponents?
Just work hard, do the small things well, keep our discipline. I think we should be able to do good.
So for you personally, we talked about multi-sport athlete. Which sport kind of has more of your heart in? If you had to choose one, maybe playing at the next level, what would it be?
I ain't gonna lie, I can't tell you right now.
So you'd be the guy if, hey, maybe a smaller school said, hey, we'd love to bring you on, play both. You'd be one of those guys that would love to get that opportunity to be able to continue both sports.
Yeah.
And that's what I think part of the thing that makes guys like you so successful, because it doesn't matter. You're just so passionate about what you do, and it shows on the court.
Yeah, I just love to win. I love to win. I can't lose.
And you guys have done quite a bit of that this year. Obviously, in a sense, maybe an up and down season for you football-wise, but, you're not the only guy that plays football and basketball. How do that group of individuals that are on both the field and the court continue to take what you guys had, the success you had on the football field, and take that into this basketball season coming off one of the better seasons in a couple years for you guys?
None but motivation. We had a real up and down season. We just want to build off the winning we did have.
So for you personally, before, whether it be football or basketball games, do you have anything personally that you kind of have to do to get yourself ready for a game, to get you in the right mindset to go out and compete?
I like to eat right, just straight water, nothing like really heavy, and it's really just music. I like to get in the right mindset, peace, stuff like that.
So obviously, we had the privilege of, again, watching you guys a lot last year, and your head coach seemed like he really was able to help turn the right, switches for you guys. What is it playing for? How is it playing for a coach like Coach Dan Bosnick?
It's really good. He just wants us to be the best player we could be. That's really all I could say. He wants us to be the best person we could be and the player on and off the court.
What are you looking forward to most in this upcoming season?
Just winning. I know we got a lot of players we could win with. I just want to win as much as we can.
So we're going to end the interview on this last question, and I like to end all the interviews this way. Last thing you hear before the, game starts and you take the floor, you're normally standing there lined up and the national anthem plays. One, is it a pump-up song? And two, what's going through your head during the anthem, those final few moments before you take the court?
Anytime I hear it, I usually just exit myself away from everybody. I like to just think about everybody I do it for, pretty much.
All right. Jay Sean, I appreciate you doing this. Can't wait to see what you and the Greyhounds do this season. Good luck the rest of the way. And when we come back, we'll have the second half of your game right here on MVI Live.
Founded in 1956, 84 Lumber Company is the nation's largest privately held supplier of building materials, manufactured components, and industry-leading services for single and multi-family residents and commercial buildings. 84 Lumber operates more than 250 stores, component manufacturing plants, custom door shops, custom millwork shops, and engineered wood product centers in over 30 states. For more information, visit 84lumber.com or join the company on your favorite social media platform. Basic Carbide is proud to support youth sports in the Mon Valley and proud to be a part of the community. Basic Carbide, located at Lobar in the Mon Valley. For more information, visit basiccarbide.com. B Graphics is the Mon Valley's leading source for all your screen printing, embroidery, and printing needs. Offering creative apparel, banners, fundraisers, online stores, promotional products, and more. To find out the best option for your needs, head to bgraphics.com or visit a store in either Frederickstown or Belle Vernon. B Graphics, hassle-free, quality-driven, and always on time. The best savings of the year at Bowser Automotive. The Power of Bowser family of dealerships features Chevrolet, GMC, Buick, Hyundai, Subaru, Nissan, and Genesis. At the Power of Bowser, you'll get the best price, the best selection of vehicles, and the best car buying experience you've ever had. Shop online at powerofbowser.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether at home, on your computer, or on the go with your cell phone. The best deals are just one click away. Visit powerofbowser.com today and experience the difference. Are you
Back here at the break, Ben Mayhew keeping Propel Braddock Hills alive in this one. An 11-point quarter for the senior Benjamin Mayhew. As 7 for Daniel Dozier went down with an injury, was leading all Greyhound scorers. Hope that nothing too serious for Daniel Dozier. Doubt we see him again in this one, but again, hope everything's all right with Dozier. And Lorenzo Gardner's played some brief minutes and is scoreless today so far for Monessen.
And that's really what is holding Monessen back right now. Your leading scorer is not on the court. You know, for one reason or another, he doesn't have any points. So hopefully Gardner can get on the floor and get things going for Monessen here, because they need him.
Dante DeFelice, left wing, inside, Blackman down low. Thompson got 2 in the air and blocked by Cato Hill. Hill has 6, Mayhew has 11.
Monessen really has to look for the skip pass. It's open. Cross-court pass, it is there. You know, they need to look for it. Just as Propel did there, doesn't work out, but you know, it's open for both sides.
As Blackman gets it to Dante DeFelice. DeFelice into the front court. Dante. Now it's Robinson. Devontae Robinson back up top to DeFelice. DeFelice surveys, floats it over to Ross Clayton. Devontae Ross Clayton skips it there. Robinson sees the lane, and he's blocked. And it's knocked out by Smith.
It's blocked, but I mean, it still gets the defense out of position. One more pass, someone is going to be open. He was double teamed, puts the defense in a bad position. So good for Monessen to recognize that and hopefully get some easy points.
In the worst case scenario here, it's still Monessen basketball.
Exactly.
You know, everyone loves a big block, but, you know, most basketball coaches will tell you, hey, you know, you get blocked, as long as it doesn't go off you, that's still our basketball.
That's why the late, great Bill Russell was so good. He's always said, I could block shots inbounds and stay with it and keep the ball.
Yeah, that's what makes that so lethal. And as underneath floater, Ross Clayton, iron kind to Ross Clayton to start the second half scoring. As Devontae Ross Clayton has 6 points now, 6:30 remaining in the third. Mayhew catch and release, iron and out. DeFelice slowing down the pace. There's Blackman, he's good from the corner. Tries to penetrate now, stops up, needs help. It's Dante DeFelice. DeFelice directing traffic. Dante DeFelice, top of the key. Thompson squirts free, back to Blackman, off the window, no good. Poke to Mayhew, Ben in transition. Ben Mayhew driving, Mayhew down the lane, and Mayhew fouled on his way up. And Ben Mayhew is shaken up. Hopefully nothing too serious, and actually no.
Yeah, charge on Mayhew. Very good play by DeFelice to get his feet set. I mean, he was waiting for him the whole time. Very easy charge call for the official on the far baseline.
I blame that on the railing.
Any mistake, it's got to be the railing.
It's the railing today.
It has to be.
Inside, there's Thompson, blocked again, as right to Blackman, who banks it in. Jashawn Blackman trying to get going. That's his first bucket from the floor. As now the pressure amping up by the Greyhounds as Clemens into the front court. And that's where Monessen was so good early. They didn't let them set up. There's a foul on the far side by DeFelice. That's Dante's third. Mayhew.
Oh boy, that might be number 4 on DeFelice.
That's a break. I see a 5, not a 4.
Yes.
That means it's Jashawn Blackman's second.
Coach Dan Bosnick saw that too. He already had Lorenzo Gardner ready to report in for DeFelice. So
great hands there by Thompson. Will reset and do it again. See if Lorenzo can find a way to get going. Again, you know, you got to make the most of your opportunities. You may not be happy with the situation, but if you play the caliber you're going to see, whatever kind of is going on, whatever's thick in the water right now, whatever's wrong between maybe the team and Lorenzo, as there's a triple knockdown by Clemens. But that will work itself out if you go out and make sure you give him a reason he can't take you off the court.
Right, Lorenzo Gardner, great, phenomenal player, and just needs to stay on the court, because when he's off the court, Monessen is not as good, for sure. When he's on the court, Monessen has a clear advantage.
Clemens, maybe this is his quarter to get going. As it's 30-27, the Greyhounds clinging to a 3-point lead. Mayhew had a big second. Clemens right now, a great start to the third as Thompson, iron, no. Rebound pops free. Ross Clayton skips across to Robinson. Now it's Gardner. Took Clemens to the third quarter to get scoring. He is the leading scorer of this team as Ross Clayton got it to fall.
Monessen having a really hard time getting anything inside, and that's a lot having to do with their spacing in between their two big guys. You got one up top at the high post, one down low on the block, and that's how you beat the zone. But when they feed that ball inside the low block, that guy on the top, whoever that is, whether it's Travion Thompson or Jashawn Blackman, they're kind of sneaking down very close to the guy who got the ball on the block, and they're allowing for the Propel to double team them. They need to stay spaced out. Monessen needs to do a better job. Keep your intervals, keep your spacing.
It will be Propel ball out of the break. 4:17 remaining in the third. 33-27 Monessen leads. Already 7 points this quarter for the Greyhounds. That basically matches their total from quarter number 2 where they had 9. As there's the almost steal by Ross Clayton as Clemens resets in the backcourt. Near side Mayhew, catch and release. Off the mark, rebound Smith, and a foul underneath. And that's going to be the third on Blackman. And kind of curious what they got Jashawn for there. Blackman had the position there.
And I'm not sure. That was a tough call from the official. Obviously had a different angle at us, but unfortunately for Blackman, picks up his third.
We're not paid to make those calls as Clemens in and out. There's Ross Clayton. Slowed up and taken away. Gio Clemens is fouled. And Blackman now has 4, 3 this quarter on Blackman.
Here comes DeFelice, the other Greyhound in foul trouble. He's got 3. So Monessen, that hectic style, it can hurt you sometimes. And Monessen, they're not going to switch anything up, but still a couple of their guys in foul trouble.
As all alone, Gary Miller Jr. and Dante DeFelice got him in the midsection. And now it's 4 on DeFelice.
DeFelice doesn't like the call, but I think it is the correct one. Puts 2 hands on him when he goes up, and that's going to be a foul any day of the week, 24/7. No matter where you are, what level you're at, that's going to be a foul if you got 2 hands on someone when they're going up.
As first one no good by Gary Miller Jr. on the season, 47%. And getting to watch it back, I have that privilege in front of us. It wasn't the right hand. The right hand was straight up, but he got him with a little bit of an arm bar with the left, and a left hand to the midsection. That's every time, as you said. As Miller, an empty trip, and Kershaw has that one knocked free by Jaden Smith. Monessen, they know a little something about playing in these close games. 48-47 over Yawk on the 19th, 61-60 over Carmichael's, 55-53 over Burrow. That's their last three contests. As Lorenzo drives and Gardner going to the foul line. I like to see a little more of that if you're the Greyhounds.
Yeah, and Lorenzo Gardner obviously understands. He's a veteran player. He's been around. He knows that he needs to get to the free throw line to be successful, and he's done that so far, or at least he's tried to when he's been on the court. So Gardner hopefully can knock both of these down for the Greyhounds.
It's around the cylinder, and this is an improved part of Lorenzo Gardner's game since when he first broke onto the scene as a freshman. Has definitely got better at this aspect. We've seen how bad he's kind of started out at this. But, as that one no good. But the style of play Gardner has, he's going to get there a lot. As the senior, Travion Thompson.
Travion Thompson has filled in so well, and there's another turnover from Propel, unforced almost. Ben Mayhew just could not corral it. But Travion Thompson, I was saying, really has stepped in very well and has performed very well when you have DeFelice and Blackman in foul trouble, giving them the boost they needed, and that's why they're up right now.
Now, all of a sudden, this game at the half was a 4-point Greyhound lead. It was as low as 2 as Lorenzo no good, and Thompson has that one knocked, somehow stayed in bounds. As a turnover to Mayhew. Mayhew driving, Mayhew step back 2, iron and out. Rebound, and it pops to the corner to Clemens. Left corner now wheeling up top, Gio Clemens. Clemens up top, kicks it foul line as there's Hill, he's fouled. And Cato Hill back to the line for the second time today. That's Thompson getting the personal, his first. Already the 6th foul of the third quarter for Monessen.
That could be bad news for the Greyhounds, as that'll send Propel to the line very quickly to the 1-and-1 after the next foul. They will have the 1-and-1 bonus opportunity. And you still have about 10 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in this contest. So
Cato Hill 0 for 3 today. Coming in, he was 2 for 4 on the campaign. 55% as a team has been Propel Braddock's Hills this season. As there's Devontae Robinson up top, controlled Lorenzo, and an illegal screen as Gardner looking to get in. Tim Kershaw gets the call, and he's as shocked about as everybody on the Monessen bench.
Yeah, must have used an arm bar or something that caused the official to get him for the illegal screen. So, going to be Propel ball taking over.
I know I'm not the one wearing the stripes. That was clean. As there's Clemens. Got there, set the feet, didn't move, didn't lower a shoulder or anything. As up top, there's Gio Clemens, side iron and out, and Cato Hill cleans up the garbage up to 8. Big bucket for the Lions. Lorenzo got to be careful there, kind of slammed the ball down after. I've seen technicals called for less. I saw someone point down yesterday saying he got a 3. He had the 3 fingers out and kind of just pointed to the ground and got teed up.
Yeah, slam of the ball is typically a technical foul, but obviously referees here letting them play, so you'd like to see that. It's a good game, and you got to give credit to Propel. I know Monessen has not had Lorenzo Gardner only has 1 point. Travion Thompson steps in. Blackman has played well. Monessen has played well altogether, although it has been a little sloppy. They have missed a couple easy shots and haven't been knocking down everything that you usually do. But Propel has played really well, and we talked about Propel's size is probably going to give Monessen a little bit of trouble. Monessen's stronger, but Propel much taller. You got Jaden Smith in there. They're altering shots. As we saw a couple possessions ago, Lorenzo Gardner usually would probably just drive in, flip that up with the left hand, but Jaden Smith makes him alter the shot. So give credit to Propel when Monessen is driving in on the interior, and give credit to Monessen for fighting really hard for those points inside. Thompson and Blackman having really good games so far.
1:59 remaining here in quarter number 3. 36-29, the Greyhounds clinging to their advantage. Got this up to a 9-point lead, and now slowly working their way back into the thick of things are the Lions for Propel Braddock Hills. As there comes Gardner. Lorenzo kicks across. Kershaw through the wickets. Knocks back out into the backcourt off the deflection, so no violation. As Robinson to Ross Clayton, there's Gardner, thought about the 3, drives, and 1 for Lorenzo.
No. They will call it an offensive foul on Travion Thompson. I did not see what happened, but I'm assuming that he tried to physically move the defender to get him out of the way, moving screen. We check out the replay.
I saw him turn to the basket. And again, yes, we cover Mon Valley teams, and that's kind of our coverage area, but I'll tell you either way if I think I try to call these right down the middle as I can. Is that one no good? As up ahead, there comes Robinson from 12 and in. Robinson, 8 points now for him.
Propel has answered every step of the way. Can they hear? And they do.
Perfect pass, I guess.
Yeah, easy bucket for Woodfork, but Monessen unable to pull away. Every time they get a little run, so will Propel. They'll go on a little one too.
Gardner ends up getting it over to Thompson. Thompson driving. Travion man in the air, and he's fouled by Cato Hill.
I have been thoroughly impressed with Travion Thompson because he has been really crafty around the hoop for, your center, your big guy on the interior. And same thing with Blackman, but Travion Thompson hasn't been in foul trouble as much as Blackman, but really, really crafty and smart around the hoop, using a lot of pump fakes and a lot of nice moves to get on the inside and get to the free throw line and get his points. So he's got to knock them down now.
Back ironing out on the first. And Monessen, 2 starters, again, won't see time till probably at least the halfway point of the fourth quarter in foul trouble as the back end goes through for Travion Thompson, 7 points, as he is 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. As down the lane, taken away. Here comes Kershaw, turns it over, but Mayhew gives it right back. It is the giving season, and Ben Mayhew gives the Greyhounds a gift there.
That's tough. That's tough if you're Mayhew. You got it in your hands and just slips out as he's trying to turn and go down the other way. But Monessen gets another opportunity here.
Gardner up top. Mayhew hasn't scored this quarter after an 11-point second, and a timeout called, or no. He looked back, pointed to the bench. It looked like Coach Bosnick called a timeout, but
I believe it was a stepped out of bounds, it looked like, on the line, possibly. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that is indeed what they called. But
Monessen gets it back here with the turnover from number 3, Giante Clemens.
12 seconds on the clock. See if Monessen can strike before the buzzer. Robinson with 7. Robinson, now Ross Clayton inside Lorenzo. 3 seconds. Gardner off the window and in. Lorenzo's first bucket from the floor makes it a 10-point Monessen lead after 3. It hasn't been a clean or pretty game for the Greyhounds, but right now holding to a 10-point advantage and have a chance to close this thing out. And you imagine, once you get DeFelice and Blackman in there, Monessen will have a great opportunity to do just that.
And that's the thing with Monessen. It doesn't have to be clean. It doesn't have to be pretty. It really never is, because you're playing so fast. It's never going to be super smooth. But they cause havoc. They cause turnovers. They force the other team to come apart. In this case, it's Propel. And really, really, turnovers have been the key. That is what has caused Propel to be down 10 points here starting the fourth quarter. There's a lot of turnovers, a lot of transition buckets for Monessen, and that's kind of what we expected coming in.
You know, and I really like what I've seen throughout today. You know, with Coach Bosnick and that relationship with Lorenzo Gardner. Like, he lets Lorenzo take the pen. Hey, what about this on the whiteboard? And then Coach Bosnick says, well, you know, here's what we're looking for here. And, you know, it seems like that's a very open relationship of trying to figure out what they want to do to get the best product out on the floor.
And Bosnick, obviously, garners a respect of his players because, you know, that means so much more to someone than saying, here's how we're doing it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We're going to take this road, no other one. Really says a lot about him, and I'm sure his players really appreciate that.
As inside, Cato Hill. He's going to the line. Devontae Robinson picks up his second foul of the contest. And next foul will be double bonus rest of the way for Propel.
And that could be a blessing or a curse for Propel as number 10, Cato Hill, knocks that one down. But you can't convert on your free throw opportunities. That could prove disastrous in the long run. If you're Propel, you need to knock these down, especially if Monessen's going to foul you. You got a whole quarter left of the double bonus.
2 for 2 for Cato Hill after starting an empty 0 for 3, double digits for Cato Hill. And averaging just 6 points per game at 10 here. As there's Devontae Robinson. Thompson has 2 ahead. Thompson, maybe a unwise decision, leads to the 3, and Ross Clayton knocks it home. First Greyhound in double digits is Devontae Ross Clayton. Thompson had a 2-on-0 ahead of him, decided to dribble it in, but led to a lucky bounce of a 3.
Yeah, Thompson, I don't think he realized that he had a man open underneath, and 3-on-1, gets it poked away right to a 3-pointer for the Greyhounds. So lucky break for Monessen.
Mayhew and Clemens got to come alive this quarter if Propel wants this one as another Monessen foul. That's Devontae Robinson's third, second of the quarter. Double bonus the rest of the way for the Lions. As it will be Woodfork. Woodfork 1 for 2. Technically has made both of his free throws, but had a lane violation on the back end. Actually, that's Robinson's fourth. I had one off as that one's banked in. 6 points now for Fred Woodfork.
Yeah, he banked in both of his free throws so far. So both of his makes came off the glass.
With 4 fouls, Robinson to the bench, but another man with 4 fouls onto the floor in D. Felice. Woodfork knocks it home again. Fred Woodfork's technically made every single one. One did not count with the lane violation, but he's had some luck. Not the man maybe you want to send to the line as Thompson wasn't ready. Great find by Kershaw. Right wing controlled there. And whistle blows. And a foul on Woodfork, and I believe that's his 4th. Fred Woodfork, not a fan of that one, but gets the call nonetheless. And, you know, kind of extended that shoulder out, but not something I would call. But if they're calling Kershaw at the other end, it makes sense they call that. I disagree with both. As Monessen underneath and a travel by Cato Hill. And there is Fred Woodfork in the Monessen bench, basically, as Dan Bosnick was helping him up.
Yeah, Woodfork tossed the ball to Hill. Appeared that he might have traveled. Officials said he juggled it. Got the ball back, goes down to the block. Then the FAR official on the baseline calls the travel, much to the dismay of Monessen fans and everyone, really. Officials are getting it here at the Monessen Greyhound Gymnasium.
Coach Cornish not happy with the walk call there, saying, why does Monessen have the ball? Travion Thompson wants to go to work. Kicks it across off the hands of Gardner. Ross Clayton, no good. Fred Woodfork the board. You know, with how chippy this game has been, this would be one of those sequences that you'd see both officials warn both parties involved, like entire bench warnings to both teams to kind of reel this one in.
Right, and the officials, I think they are doing a really good job at keeping this thing under control. You don't want it to get too out of hand. As Lorenzo Gardner, strong move. That's what you need from Gardner. Gets the N1 opportunity, but officials doing a really good job at maintaining this game, making sure it doesn't get out of hand. It is getting chippy, and obviously, I think they're calling it fair both ways. You know,
yeah.
Someone's always going to have something to say, whether it's Monessen, Propel, doesn't matter. Someone's always going to have something to say about how you're calling the game.
It's Mayhew's second, team fifth. And here's the thing. I don't agree with those screen calls, but here's the thing about it, though. They've called it both ways. And if you're going to call it fair, I can't complain.
No, and I think that's all you ask for officials in any sport, is that you call it fair both ways. And I think they have done that. And, you know, people are going to complain, but I personally have no complaints about that at all.
I mean, as a player, would I be happy about getting that call? Absolutely not. But, again, if you're going to call it both ways, you have to adjust as individuals on the court.
Yeah, I do think they're doing a pretty good job today.
As that one floated up, no good. As back the other way, Lorenzo's starting to come alive. There's Gardner, and Gardner travels.
Good hands from Mayhew. He did not catch him, didn't get his arm or anything. He got ball, and Gardner just went up. That could have been a jump ball, but
I think he knocked it free enough out of the possession of Lorenzo to make the tie-up not called.
Right.
As Clemens fires it inside, and there's Gary Miller. As Gary Miller makes it a 10-point game once again, 5:30 remaining as Travion Thompson fouled by Miller at the other end. Thompson has had himself a heck of a game for Monessen, all things being considered. Only 7 points, but off the bench, he's provided much more than you think, especially more than just points here tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been rebounding very well inside. Honestly, he's been a great defender. He's been a body to prevent Propel from getting any easy looks. And, you know, trying to knock down his free throws right now, but he has been – we got Jashawn Blackman checking in for Thompson. Good to see him back in the game. But, yeah, done a really good job. And combined with him and Blackman, really giving Monessen the edge over Propel.
8 points for Thompson, as the senior makes it 48-37. On the season, Monessen's been averaging 52 points per game, right around that clip now. You'd still like to see this offense start clicking at a higher level. As a travel on the Lions, 5:19 remaining here in the fourth. So with that being said, 5:19 remaining, you should surpass that total. If you're Monessen, if you don't, you may be in trouble.
Right, exactly.
You sit at about 50 points and only score 4 points in the final 5:19. You might have a couple more things to worry about here as this game goes on. And you lost a big integral piece of that offense, and things are going to take time to get back going with Cody Coons graduating. As there's DeFelice out to Lorenzo Gardner. Also Keontae Robinson, who was a big part of this Greyhound squad a year ago.
The thing with Monessen is that they found ways to win games, and that's what really shows a team's grittiness and determination.
There's Gardner doing what he does best, getting to the window for two.
Gardner with a technical. The referee got him.
And, you know, now if you are Propel, you have to play perfectly clean after the whistle, because kind of when you get an early or one in those, next one, anything close to what just happened will have to be a call. As a miss there by Giante Clemens. He's shooting 64% from the line this season.
Yeah, Propel needs some help here. They need Monessen to make a few turnovers from Monessen, a couple threes. They need to get back into this game pretty quickly.
And you know, you got to credit, as much as we talk about the offensive side of things, Monessen's defense here. Clemens averaging 19 points per game. He has 6. Mayhew's averaging 18. He has 11, and that was all in 1 quarter of play. I think someone just got kicked out, and Lorenzo even told her to get out.
This is getting a little. What is going on right now? We got a sub checking in.
We're seeing it all today. Here comes Tyvon Kershaw for Lorenzo Gardner.
So okay, if Gardner gets a technical, inbounding the ball, Fan gets kicked out from the Monessen side.
As they're sitting down, Ross Clayton and Gardner's DeFelice. He's gone. The charge drawn by Ben Mayhew. And Coach Bosnick wasted no time after that sequence, because you saw the reaction by Ross Clayton and Lorenzo pointing to the door for the fan even, that
you don't want him to get a second technical for whatever reason. Obviously, you know, Gardner didn't do anything wrong after on the sideline right there. You still don't want to take that chance. You don't want to lose him for a game. You get 2 technicals, you're thrown out of this game and the next game.
Backcourt violation, and I think great composure there by the Propel bench. They've been unhappy with a lot of calls, and that was a bump into the backcourt. Nothing there too major, but with kind of the way we've seen their reaction throughout the course of this game. Ross Clayton has re-entered, as well as Lorenzo Gardner, and I love that as a coaching staff. You know what? We're going to come down. We're not going to take you out, but we're going to at least talk to you and get you right back in there.
Right.
As Kershaw blocked by Cato Hill. 50-38, 4:08 remaining here in the 4th. As driving in, there's Clemens. Up to 8. 10-point game once again, and off of the Lions of Propel Braddock Hills. Maybe a break there from Monessen. It stops and scores. That's the name of the game for the Lions right now. Robinson, top of the key, Robinson. Bounce pass, Ross Clayton cutting Robinson from 14, no good. Rebound by Cato Hill.
And you saw Blackman right there. He really wanted to try for that rebound, but he couldn't because he's got 4.
As there goes Clemens, no good. Rebound by Woodford, but right to Blackman. And Blackman gets it off to Ross Clayton, 3:24 remaining in the 4th. Ross Clayton around Clemens. There goes Ross Clayton, and the whistle blows on his way down the lane. Goes against Clemens, and it's 1-1 for the Greyhounds.
The Propel bench, again, a little upset, but I think the officials have done a really good job today at managing this game, because a game like this, it's really sloppy and hectic. It's tough. It really is, and I think they've done a fine job.
As that one no good, no other shot for Ross Clayton. As down the lane, it's Gio Clemens. Double digits for Clemens. And this is an official timeout for,
I think it was
something with Jaden Smith, I think. He said he showed the one as Smith was coming into the game.
I think it's Clemens. Clemens hit the ball. That's their first warning for touching the ball as it went through the hoop.
There's Gardner, his team up by 8. Again, every time Monessen looks like they pull away, Propel comes right back. That will help the cause. Mayhew, now it's Clemens. Clemens driving as Gio Clemens to 12 all this half. And there is the Greyhound timeout.
Man, Propel, just so much fight. You got to give them credit. They have been really, really resilient in cutting these leads. I mean, they haven't led at all in this contest, but I mean, they have just been super resilient, and you got to give them credit. It's very respectable, and obviously those kids over there don't have any quit in them.
And this is, great sign of trust in or award in what your head coach is thinking of your senior right now, Travion Thompson. Games in the balance here, and Thompson coming off the bench. He just checked back into the game. You have to fill someone with DeFelice out, and this is a reward here to Travion Thompson the way he's played today. He has earned this spot out there in this final minutes. He's been an impactful part of the Greyhounds here this evening.
Right, and too easy on the interior. You got Travion Thompson in there, like we talked about. Good on the defensive end. He hasn't blocked any shots, but he's been a deterrent for those Propel players coming inside. Last 3 or 4 baskets have been very, very easy, uncontested for the Propel Lions. So
Daniel Dozier went out with an injury in this one. We see DeFelice is fouled out. Haven't seen, as there's Lorenzo up, and he's shooting 2 at the line as he can't finish. Haven't seen a lot of Tyvon Kershaw today.
No, he had 4 quick points in the late in the first quarter, and then we really haven't seen him since then.
Robinson, Ross Clayton, Blackman, and Thompson. Gardner, iron unkind. No good there for Lorenzo. First miss from the line today for Gardner. Tim Kershaw was the one who checked out during that last sequence to get Travion Thompson in. That's the elder Kershaw brother, as Lorenzo 9 points this half. Smith into Clemens. Gio Clemens back to Ben Mayhew. Been a while since Ben's got on the board as they floated over to Mayhew. Mayhew left wing driving. Ben Mayhew straight to the window. No good. Rebound. Smith blocked. It's Thompson leading to the rush, and Gardner puts it in. And I think there may be a bench technical here.
Yeah, it appears that there's a technical on.
It was on one of the players on the end of the bench, not even in uniform today. As they're going to send Deshaun Blackman to the line.
This is just, oh my goodness, this is
something.
Everything.
This is something. Deshaun Blackman. Normally you don't send your big forward to the charity stripe shooting technical free throws. Knocks down the first.
Obviously shows you the skills that Blackman has. Obviously a very good shooter. He gets that friendly roll off the iron. But again, we talked about Thompson. There he was again. The block on the 6'7", Jaden Smith, leads to the Lorenzo Gardner layup.
As we've seen, Deshaun Blackman are actually talking to Coach Dan Bosnick, saying that he's been in contact with some colleges about getting Deshaun Blackman some more looks. He said he deserves them. As Gardner, not what you want to do. Now you got to lock it down defensively. Up 55-44, 2:05 remaining. Got some sharpshooters on the outside if you are the Lions. There's one of them in Clemens. He's running out of time. Finds the other in Mayhew. Now Smith, left elbow jumper. Got it.
Smith, smooth stroke from the elbow.
Second one we've seen from there.
Second one he's hit.
You're in no hurry if you're the Monessen attack. As another almost turnover, going to stay with the Greyhounds.
Monessen just needs to calm down here, run their end of the game offense, waste clock, and make Propel foul you. You're in the bonus at this point.
Ross Clayton up top to Robinson. Devontae swings it. Blackman. Ross Clayton. Got it! Devontae Ross Clayton might have just called game. 15 for Ross Clayton, his third triple. As Cato Hill wants to stay alive.
It's a nice move from Cato Hill.
10-point game, 1:10 remaining. There's Thompson, the big man. Off the window and in. Travion Thompson. As Travion Thompson once again Floater down low, Cato no good as Travian Thompson wrestled it free off to Ross Clayton. Devontae right hand no, rebound Ross Clayton, right hand up again, won't fall. As a rebound saved right to Smith. Corner, Clemens waits for the pressure to run by, overshoots, rebound by Blackman. Jashawn Blackman driving, Blackman knocked down, turns it over to Cato Hill. Hill driving on Thompson. Thompson forces it free. As Travian Thompson amps up the pressure with Robinson and a foul underneath. But that will do it, 19.8. Monessen's wasted enough time. Up 60-48. And Travian Thompson, he has had himself a workman's type game.
Yeah, he's been a honestly, like a Draymond Green type or something. Obviously, not quite as skilled or big as Draymond Green, but very similar play style. You know, really rebounded well. And again, Propel has had a really tough time trying to drive in on Thompson and Blackman. Those guys inside have been very crucial to Monessen's success, and this was a tough game for Monessen. Propel's big, they're athletic, they're good, obviously much improved, and it was chippy. So shows you that Monessen can win those close games, as they've already proved against Carmichael's, Burrell, some of those other pretty good 1-2A teams. And another good win here for the Greyhounds at home at the Major Corley. Is this the Major Corley court?
Yeah. 35 points from the starters tonight, 25 points off the Monessen bench.
Yeah, so obviously Monessen really relies on that bench. Their bench stepped up when their starters were not there and not in and not performing as they typically do, and that's a very good sign of a good team.
Lorenzo Gardner had 11 of those, 10 for Thompson off the bench, and Tim Kershaw added in 4. As knocking down that one with Smith, he has 5, make it look a little closer. But Monessen, they will dribble out. It's Ross Clayton. He led the way with 15, and Monessen make it 6 in a row after an opening night loss to the hands of the undefeated South Allegheny Gladiators. And Monessen, they're rolling. Wasn't pretty and easy today, but the Greyhounds got it done.
A huge win for Monessen. I mean, you win the games that you're supposed to win, and that's what they've done so far this year. They've won the games they're supposed to win. Tough against the South Allegheny Gladiators. I mean, just an exceptional team with Epps and that crew over there.
And other Epps and Mahalski.
Right.
They just have score after score on that team.
Right. So Monessen, good win here, and obviously, hopefully they can keep it rolling after the holidays.
Got a game tomorrow here at home against South Park to conclude the Monessen Holiday Classic. And then, of course, for Propel, they'll take on Wash High tomorrow, who ran South Park off the floor. Monessen 60-49 victorious over Propel Braddock Hill as they fall below 500 to 4-5. Ben Mayhew, Cato Hill both with 12 points, Clemens and Hill with 12 points. Mayhew with 11 all in the second quarter. For Monessen, spread out scoring. We hope the best for Daniel Dozier with the injury. He had 7, 5 for Blackman, 10 for Travian Thompson, 11 for Lorenzo Gardner, and 15 for Devontae Ross Clayton. Your MVI Live player of the game goes to Travian Thompson. He had himself a heck of a game and was instrumental in the win for the Greyhounds. 6 in a row for Monessen.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think Travian Thompson very deserving of the player of the game, and Monessen 6 in a row. Hopefully make it 7 tomorrow.
Only 10 more games to match their win streak from last year. We'll see if they can do it with Coach Bosnick before he gets into 1A play against Geibel. We'll have that one more tune-up game against South Park, and then it will be Monessen and Geibel to start the new year and start 1A play for the Greyhounds. More action on the network tomorrow. We'll have the Concy and the championship game of the Charleroi Holiday Tournament. The way it's eyeballing out, we'll see Bell Vernon and Southmoreland in the nightcap, and Charleroi versus Ringgold for the second time this year in the consolation game. So we'll have those for you tomorrow here on the network. On behalf of my broadcast partner tonight, Joe Sambalack, I'm Alex Lyon saying thanks for tuning in. Monessen 6 in a row to 6-1 on the year. We'll see you tomorrow right here on MVI Live. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody.